Next up, though, let's talk about one of Andrew's truly top-rated products, something that we all need to keep going, and that is a great source of energy. Andrew has been and will always be a leader when it comes to Coenzyme Q10. Way back when Andrew really introduced this and brought it to the forefront to the United States, it started momentum, Andrew, and today CoQ10 continues to be one of our biggest selling products, not just here, but around the country. The difference is yours is different altogether.
Well, it always has been. And what surprised me, because when I introduced CoQ10, I started my company in 1979. That's when I started manufacturing vitamins, back in 1979. And we introduced CoQ10 as part of our product line in 1984. What surprised me and astounded me was that no one else had done that.
Right.
That if you looked at the science, if you looked at the research, it was absolutely inescapable. The most important single ingredient that anyone could provide in terms of supporting energy production on a cellular level that can make a difference in how we feel and how we move through the world, and even more importantly, make a difference in how our key organs function, it would be CoQ10. So, but what I learned early on when I started my company in 1979 is that most vitamins are manufactured by contract manufacturers.
Right.
And most of the folks making vitamins, this is going to sound terrible, really didn't care about the latest science.
Right.
Really didn't care about the latest research because they weren't reviewing it. That most of the vitamins that are sold in America are store brands. And store brands, they have brands of toilet paper, they have brands of paper towel, they have brands of shampoo, they have brands of everything. So it's just another commodity to them, a vitamin. So they never really thought about the interests and the needs. And in fact, the only reason CoQ10 became popular is because the entire business model for my company, we had no advertising budget. The entire business model for my company was education. So even before I was on television back in January 1991 is when I started on QVC.
Wow. I
just did seminars where I talked to doctors, and that's what I figured, what a great way to spread the interest about my products. I talked to nutritionally informed doctors, and they would share the information about my products to their patients. So that was my business model back then. It was all word of mouth. Because again, I had no advertising budget. We still don't have an advertising budget. So I just thank HSN and QVC for the opportunity to, normally I'm standing on a set in St. Petersburg or in Westchester, Pennsylvania, but here I'm sitting in a chair at home. So as much as I might appear comfortable, I really would love the world to go back to normal so I could be there. And everybody, I know we all long for that, and it will return to normal. I know it always feels like it's such an insurmountable obstacle that we're up against, but it's not some invisible, mysterious foe. It's a virus. And viruses are predictable, and the scientists understand how they work. So if we just listen to the recommendations, this too shall pass. It will take some time, but really what's interesting is our doctors often tell us one-on-one, if we follow our doctor's instructions and do what we're supposed to do, we will get a better outcome. So now we just have to follow the instructions we're getting, and as a society, the collective impact that we all as individuals can have will be a positive impact. And it's funny, when I talk about CoQ10, unlike a stimulant that gives you more energy by stimulating your brain and central nervous system, the way CoQ10 works is by providing the most important single tool and tools to each and every one of your trillions of cells, because they all have to produce their own energy. They can't rely on their neighbor. So you have trillions of different, you have actually hundreds of trillions or thousands of trillions of different power plants in each of your cells, these mitochondria, that rely on CoQ10. So it's, again, the actions of individuals can be powerful, and when it comes to an energy product, the action of individual cells is the only way to intelligently attack the problem. And same with our virus we're dealing with, the only way to intelligently attack it is if we all do what we know we're supposed to do as individuals to stop the transmission.
Well, if you'd like to order CoQ10, and again, that we could say the best in the world, but it's not just an opinion. If you look at the facts side by side, there is no comparison. And I want to show you what Andrew and the team have done for our monthly special. We know we have today's specials, but every month Andrew selects a few products to really offer great value savings. And on CoQ10, amazing pricing, 30, 60, 120 or the 240. 240 offers the biggest savings. Andrew, I don't want to misspeak. Didn't you say yesterday that the pricing for CoQ10 and the ingredients gone up like, did you say 500%?
Yeah. I won't misspeak. Also, you have to turn the chart so it faces the camera better. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm the director here.
This is teamwork, Andrew.
Because I read the reviews and letters and emails, in the past I remember receiving notes telling me I have to make sure the charts face the camera so they're easy to read and less glare. So I read those, as I said before, it's the negative reviews that really stick with me. But you're correct. Toward the end of last year, we had our Today Special at the end of last year. And of course, because we made sure we bought as much CoQ10 as we could, we were able to preserve pricing, and it was best pricing ever. And that we've been able to continue to today. I'm not sure that, and I thought it was so important, especially now, to deliver adequate amounts of CoQ10. It's a really important, I consider it just another vitamin that goes along with, say, with the B vitamins, except it's even more important than any B vitamin in my mind. But I thought it's such an important ingredient right now that we would go through whatever quantity we had purchased at that time. And I think by the end of this year, when we come time to do our Today Special, I think unfortunately the Today Special price will likely be more. It'll be a great price given the market price of CoQ10, but by then we'll have exhausted the supplies we got at the end of last year. And I suspect the CoQ10 price per milligram or per capsule will be higher than it is today. So that's unfortunate, and I recognize that. If we go through all our CoQ10, then I think it's great that everyone got it at the best price possible, and then we'll do the very best we can at the end of the year. But the price has gone up 500% from the price we were paying previously. The market price for CoQ10, for the best CoQ10 in the world, is 500%. I think there's a little bit of shenanigans going on with the various CoQ10 suppliers, the best CoQ10 suppliers in the world. But that kind of happens in industries. I've been doing this far too long. I've watched it before. Back in the day, about 20 plus years ago, we were insulated. We were immune from that price increase because I think the CoQ10, the major CoQ10 manufacturer, was so grateful to me for actually educating the public about the importance of CoQ10.
Right.
But I guess that gratitude didn't last, so now I'm just like anybody else. So I'll do the very best I can come the end of the year before we have to bring our Today Special for CoQ10.